In this video, we are going to talk about Toshi, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of Toshi to go in the next few days and weeks. So we will be looking at the weekly chart. And what we can see first of all is that Toshi has been continuously dumping since October of 2025, more or less back when Bitcoin topped as well. Toshi has been just continuously dumping, and even when Bitcoin has gotten some rallies and some recovery, Toshi has just continued dumping throughout the entire way. Other than a couple of weeks here and there, Toshi has really just been dumping with no stopping whatsoever, and it has been creating new all-time lows since about February of this year. It went all the way down below the all-time low that was back in April of 2025 and continued dumping much further. And currently it is also more or less at its all-time low at around 0.0001. Toshi is currently below every single support area that it had in the past, and really it is looking absolutely horrible. There is no real area for us to look at for Toshi to get support from at all, not any past support levels or trend lines. If we connect a trend line between these two previous significant lows, we can see that Toshi even went down below it as well. So really at the moment, the only real chance for Toshi to get a significant rally is if it manages to follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does get a very significant rally, then Toshi has a much better chance of getting a rally as well. But as I said before, even when Bitcoin was rallying in previous months, we haven't seen Toshi follow it, and it just continued dumping. So really for Toshi to get a significant rally, we would need to see a very significant rally by Bitcoin, as well as basically the entire crypto market following it. Toshi is looking very weak at the moment, and it has been looking very weak for a while now. And I think that the chances of it getting a rally are very slim anytime soon. I think that generally we are still in a bear market despite the recent relief rallies by Bitcoin, despite Bitcoin going all the way up to over 80k and getting a rally of over 30% in a pretty short period of time. It did get rejected off of it and went all the way back down to 60k, and I think that eventually it will break down below 60k and it will start to create new lows for this bear market. So I think that we will be in a bear market at least for most of 2026 and possibly even further than that. And I think that Toshi will probably continue dumping and creating new all-time lows as long as we are still in a bear market, and possibly even much more than that as well. I think that really Toshi will perform pretty poorly most likely for many more months until we start seeing Bitcoin be in a bull market again and it performing very well and altcoins following it, and us seeing basically the entire crypto market perform much better. As I said, Toshi is looking very weak, and I wouldn't expect it to do well until we see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most of the other altcoins performing very well, which at the moment is very far away from being the scenario in the market. The entire crypto market has been struggling a lot for the last few months since late 2025. And again, I keep repeating myself, but the structure of Toshi is just looking absolutely horrible, and I'm very pessimistic about it. I don't see any sign or reason to why it would stop anytime soon, and I think that it will likely just continue dumping and creating new all-time lows for many more months to come. And I think that the only real chance it has is much later on, possibly in 2027, could even take longer than that. Once we do see Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market doing a lot better, then we could see Toshi following it. It would be a lot more likely if we do actually see an altcoin season, but at the moment I think that the chances of an altcoin season across the entire altcoin market in general, chances of that are very low, and I think that we will not see an altcoin season as well for a very long time. Historically, for us to see an altcoin season, we first need to see Bitcoin getting to new all-time highs, followed by Ethereum getting to new all-time highs as well, and at the moment Bitcoin is very far below its all-time high, and Ethereum even more. So I think that the chances of an altcoin season anytime soon are very slim. And as I said, I think that we are still most likely in a bear market, and historically in bear markets altcoins perform very poorly and underperform Bitcoin, at least the vast majority of them, and I don't see any reason at all to why Toshi would be any different. I think that it will actually likely be one of the worst performing altcoins across the entire market, because as I said, the structure is looking really horrible and I don't see any sign of it changing anytime soon whatsoever. What could potentially change it is if it crosses this previous high at around 0.0002. This would be a rally of about 2x from where Toshi is at right now, so this would be a very significant move, and again, even that would just be the very first sign of Toshi getting a trend reversal. So I think that we are very far away from Toshi performing well anytime soon. Of course, this isn't financial advice whatsoever, but I would personally avoid being into Toshi at the moment, and in general, I would avoid being heavy into altcoins. I would only consider being into some altcoins very selectively, only the ones who have a very good structure, and only in the short term, I would be very careful with them. So again, in the short term, it is looking pretty horrible for Toshi. As I said, if it does cross this area of 0.0002, then it could potentially get a turn reversal, and if it does manage to get a turn reversal, and it could actually rally all the way up to these previous highs at around 0.0075. This could actually be a very significant rally for Toshi, but again, as I said, it seems very unlikely to happen anytime soon, but it's just something to look out for if you are interested in Toshi. So hey guys, that's going to be it for this update about Toshi. If you enjoyed it and you want more videos about Toshi as well as other altcoins and the rest of the crypto market in general, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.